Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another Monty and Mazza Wednesday Diet Podcast with me, Monty Ban, and my co-host here, Mazza McBob. Good evening, Maz.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
As per normal, just to make sure I haven't completely messed it up, if someone in chat could let us know that they can hear us okay and everything is well, I would very much appreciate it. I have been having some internet problems whilst we've been setting up this live stream with the connection and drop frames. So yes. Also, there might be a bit of a delay in the chat to us. At least we have someone there. Smiler is there. So yes, good evening, everyone. What?
I was going to say,
I'm kind of live.
yes, okay, sorry, bye.
Okay. There we go.
On air button lit.
Sorry?
Have you got your on air button lit?
Yeah, you won't be able to see it, but yeah, I have. It just looks like a big bright white light on the camera. But I did switch it on for that exact reason. And I don't know. Anyway, that's what makes it all real, doesn't it? All is well, says Callum. Thank you very much, Callum. That is good news. So yes, welcome once again to the Diet Podcast. In tonight's episode, we will be going through the normal things. So starting off with our stats for this week, having a run through of Mazza McBob's weekly menu, and then having our feature section. And this week, it's basically going to be us making it up as we go along, isn't it? We haven't
Just chit chat and any questions
chit-chat.
people have. And I've got a little surprise for Monty Ban.
Oh, okay. Is it a good surprise?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It's the other half of a birthday present.
Oh.
I'll show you later.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, that surprised me. You've surprised me already.
Yay.
Right. Yeah. So
Right. It's all about the content.
it's all about the content, right? Okay. Yeah. It's no cake then. Okay.
No. Don't do cake, not anymore.
No, banned. Okay. Yeah. So whilst we're going through the menu and things, if anybody wants to think about things they want to talk about, put it in chat. So statistics.
First stats, yeah. So last week I was on holiday for part of the week.
You were.
So I'm pretty pleased with the result, to be fair, that I lost 1.4 pounds. Now total at 15.6 pounds in total.
Wow. Well
I
done.
lost 0.7% of a body fat percentage, which last week was up ever so slightly, and now that's dropped down by the biggest drop so far. So that's down 2.2% in total. I dropped another 0.4 on my BMI, which is pretty consistent actually. It seems to be 0.4 every week. So that's now down 3 points. But I didn't do so well on the resting heart rate because I was drinking alcohol for about 5 days solid. And I could show you my stats later, but literally for every day, like my heart rate went up and up and up and up until Sunday. And then it started going down every day now. So it's going down by about 2 points a day now that I haven't had a drink for 3 or 4 days, but it was pretty bad. So that's gone the wrong direction by 4 points. Now I've totally lost so far 6.64% of my whole body weight and just under 20% of my target now.
Very good.
I'm about a fifth of the way there.
6.6. Well, it's,
6.64%.
Yeah, heading towards 7% of your entire body weight. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? When you think about it.
And if you divide the 15.6 pounds by the 38 days I've been doing it, that's 0.4 of a pound per day. So that's nearly half a pound a day, which is quite a bonkers statistic, really.
That is bonkers. Sorry, I just left my mouse right in the middle of the screen. I always annoy when I watch this back and I leave the mouse just like right splat in front of somebody's face. Like, why do you do that? Well, congratulations, Maria. You done well.
Stuart, Lindy Lou, and Serena are also on. Just saying.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So last week I couldn't report how well I'd done because I'd forgotten to weigh. I did it the next morning and I had lost a pound that week, so that I was quite pleased about that. However, I have to say this week has not gone so well, and I've put that pound back on. So
Still not too bad.
it's a net it's a net nothing over a 2-week period, but yeah. So not such good news this week, but it ended up being good news last week. I put it down to the fact that last week ended up being then an 8-day week, and this week's only been a 6-day week. So it's that extra day either side that's made all the difference. I think that's what I'm telling myself anyway.
Cool.
Also, it's been because of COVID. It's been like an extra long birthday for me with multiple birthday meals.
That's true. Yeah, we did go out on Saturday, didn't we?
We did, and I'm not one for holding back in those sort of circumstances. So
you shouldn't.
No.
I'm just really glad that my birthday isn't until next March.
Yeah, we have got Christmas to get through before that. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one. That's whether I just say, right, shut down the diet for a week and don't worry about it, or whether I try and be sensible and try and stick to it. I'm not quite sure yet. I guess I'll have to see how I feel closer to the time.
Yeah, maybe we'll work through it together. Okay, so should we get on with the menu?
Yeah.
The menu. I've lost the menu. Right.
So this last week, obviously I was away for most of it. So some of it was guesswork and kind of the best I could do in the given circumstances. Our general mode of survival and also to save £100 was to not have breakfasts in the hotel. So I took with me some instant oats and some bagels and some of my meal replacement shakes so that I could at least, use those if I needed. On this day, we went for a really long hike. It was about 6 hours. I think we did 16 kilometers or something like that. And I took a peanut butter bagel with me. and then Chris sat there and ate a wax burger, which I tell you, it was in a pretzel bun and it was this wonderful burger dripping with cheese and also, anyway, so I had a bagel. And then for our evening meal, we went to a place called Bush Pepper. It was an Australian bar and had kangaroo steak, which mine's there. And actually, there's sweet potato wedges at the back of there, but Chris had my wedges and I had his greens. So it was actually quite a low calorie day considering.
Actually, I can do this now. I've set up another screen so I can get rid of chat temporarily and there so everybody can see the picture a little bit better. But you can just make out there. You can just make out the wedges sticking out the side.
Yeah, they're at the back. So I kind of turned the plate around so they were out the back. But once we'd actually disassembled mine and put it onto Ludacris's plate, it looked a bit more of a mess. I only included this picture because it looked a bit prettier. But
I have to say,
and that was so tasty. It was pork reduction, and I'm gonna make some of that.
I don't know about kangaroos. I don't know about how. I suppose it's like eating a giant rabbit. But
no, it's not gamey at all.
No?
It's just like a beef steak, but it's super lean and maybe a slightly lighter flavour than beef, but it's very much like a beef steak. Chris if it was a revelation, he wants more of that, but I can't find it anywhere. But it was absolutely delicious and super healthy.
I'm just picturing pictures of kangaroos that I've seen, and they are like butch, buff, like, big packs, and
like rabbits.
I can just imagine it being tough, rather than
Oh
But-
no, it's
no?
not. It's very tender. It's very beef-like, and they were sort of medium rare, nice and pink in the middle. It's
It
delicious.
looks like beef.
Very
It looks
yeah,
absolutely
very
lovely.
similar. Very similar.
And props for holding out on a bagel when Chris was stuffing his face with a all works burger.
I consoled myself with a gin and tonic, but wasn't quite the same.
It's the only way to go, isn't it? Really, it's the only way. Right, moving on then.
So the next day, can't even remember. So yeah, same start, and I did take with me a meal replacement shake, but we went to this tapas place, and I found a little meatball tapas, and I looked it up, and the general consensus for a three or four meatball tapas is about 200 calories. So I figured I could have that. At least I could sit there and eat rather than just drinking whilst everybody else was eating. And then we went to a place called Miso for dinner, and I figured out that a gyoza is only about 30 calories for one gyoza, and 5 edamame beans, again, was only a couple of calories. And then I had firecracker chicken, which was really difficult to estimate. I mean, on my fitness pal, it ranges from 200 calories to 1,200 calories. But essentially, it was just a few pieces of chicken and pepper. I gave Ludacris all my rice. So I just kind of guessed, really, at how many calories that firecracker chicken might be. But being that, I didn't eat all of the sweet sauce and I didn't have the rice, I figured it couldn't be too bad. Bit of guesswork.
I'm really surprised how little calories are in a gyoza.
It's bonkers, yeah.
Because you'd think it'd be like a dumpling or something, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're so, the case on them are so almost wafer thin. They're almost...
Yeah. It is only a wafer thin. Okay, on with the next one.
So this day, I also took meal replacement shakes, and the people we were with, they had pizza, and I was offered a slice of pizza. So I looked that up, but just for a slice of pizza is about 200 calories. So I had a slice of pizza rather than my meal replacement shake. And then we had Indian in the evening. So I picked it. So chicken shazlik, which is essentially like a chicken tikka tandoori, where it's like dry off the bone. And I had a sag as a side dish. Most Indian vegetable side dishes aren't too bad. And as long as you haven't got the sag paneer or the sag aloo, as in with cheese or potato, the sag on its own is actually quite low in calories.
Cool. Shazlik.
Shazlik, yeah.
Shazlik. Okay. I would have pronounced that
It was
wrong.
really nice. Really tasty.
And
then this was the day that we got back. I got home and I was really peckish. I found myself just sort of eating a pot of cottage cheese. So that's a bit of a bad picture, really, of what I ate. But I did eat it out of the pot. It was quite disgusting, really. And then I had teriyaki steak for dinner with 5 edamame pods as a starter that I shared from Ludacris's starter plate.
yeah,
Teriyaki steak, yeah, not that high.
delicious
Yeah,
meal.
sauces.
That was delicious.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. That was at Yukasan. Love that place. One of my faves.
You can say.
And then this would have been Sunday. So
an
Sunday,
egg mayo bagel.
And I had bagel and bagel, which is really bad, but I had
Oh,
egg
yeah.
mayo bagel. And then it had cottage cheese and tomato bagel. I mean, I shouldn't be having bagels anyway because they're white carbs, but I do find that, a bagel, as in 2 halves, is the same calories as one of those pieces of rye bread.
Yeah.
And it does feel like I'm eating something more substantial, having a whole bagel rather than one little thin slice of bread. So yeah, I shouldn't really be, but I mean, it helps make it all more sustainable. And then beef stew for dinner, which I love my beef stew. It's so good.
And it wasn't porridge in the morning. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I know. Now that I'm back home, I can kind of make slightly more interesting things on Sundays.
Yeah, I want to try. I want to try your
porridge.
beef. I want to try your beef stew.
Yeah, you should. It's so good.
We're doing that. The next day.
So this was an interesting breakfast. This was actually a recipe. I kind of made it mid-morning, actually. It was a recipe from the Fast 800 cookbook,
Right.
and it's pea frittatas. So It's basically like eggy. It's like you get your peas and some onions and stuff, and you get some egg and you whisk up the egg, and you're making like almost like little omelets, but they're supposed to look like muffins. But I have these kind of little loaf-shaped muffin trays that I then used a bit of greaseproof paper to line it with and make these little pea frittatas. They looked really cute and lovely, and they were quite big, but they stuck to the paper, so it was a right old job to actually try and eat them.
Yeah. Hence why you took the photo of them in the paper.
Yeah, well, I took the photo and then I sat down to eat them and I was like, oh, this isn't so easy. But they did taste nice. Then you do the peas with a little bit of mint sauce. So it's like minted pea.
For breakfast.
There's a bit of parmesan in there, a bit of parmesan. It's slightly cheesy, slightly minty, bit of green vegetables, onions. It's very tasty.
Yeah, I'm not, yeah. Maybe for, I don't know, for breakfast, I don't know.
It was kind of a brunch, like this was mid-morning.
Mid-morning, yeah.
And then I got to mid-afternoon and I was feeling peckish, so I ate a petit pain.
By itself? On its own?
Yeah,
just like that?
I wasn't really intending to have it, but I just found myself eating it.
Okay, yep. And then you got your fractal broccoli.
Yeah, that's it. The weirdy Romanesco cauliflower or broccoli. I'm not quite sure which family it belongs to. And a bit of sort of bacony cabbage there as well.
Nice. And I think this is the last day.
This is the last one. A nice colourful one yesterday. Back to the cinnamon oats. Avocado and rye. And then the teriyaki salmon, which we've seen several times before. One of my faves.
You gone all in for the cinnamon there.
Yeah. It looks like a lot, but then when you stir it in, it's not so much.
Yeah. Oh, another nice. So, how did you find it then? With the whole going on holiday? Oh, there's Ludicrous.
He says he's got his cloak of invisibility on.
Has he? We can't see him. Yeah, we can't see him.
How was it going on holiday? Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was obviously drinking too much, but I was surprised that I was able to keep to the calorie counting. It was a case of not being able to be too purposeful, but having to be like playing it by ear. So, taking the shakes with me and then figuring out if there was anything in a restaurant I could eat. But knowing that I had a fallback plan in case there was, I couldn't find anything. So yeah, slightly tricky and some guesswork, but I still managed to lose a bit of weight. So I'll put that in the win column.
Yeah, Smiler says this week was sponsored by teriyaki. Just getting to some of the things. Hello to my dad, Stuart. Lindy Hop thinks she knows what the surprise is. Dion congratulates you. Yeah, Dion congratulates you on your loss. Serena says hi and hopes we are all well, and we are. Smiler pointed out that our highest, we had 10 viewers, which is a record for us. And Joe and Rob are here. Hello, Joe and Rob. Joe and Rob are in the house.
Hey.
Yes.
The Haymans.
The Haymans have arrived. Yes. Well, thank you for the menu. I will add them. And I said at last week's podcast that I would create a page on my montyband.com website where all these images are laid out. So if you ever wanted some inspiration for a healthy eating meal, week, days, whatever, you can have a look through those pictures and see. Give you some thoughts. And if you want any of the recipes to any of those, contact Maz and she'll be happy to sort you out.
Yeah.
And that's all.
And next week I'm going to be trying a few new things. In the next week or so, I'm going to be making some pui lentil meatballs. So like a vegetarian style of meatball. I've also had a recipe for one of my favourite restaurants in London called Dishoom. Their Black House dal, which takes 6 hours to make, but I'm going to try and make a big batch of it and see if it's anywhere near as good as what you get in the restaurant. I doubt it, but I'm going to try.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. So, surprise.
Yeah. So, the surprise is this.
It's a Star Trek logo.
It is.
Is it a communicator badge?
You what?
Is it a com badge?
It's a com badge, but it's a it's sort of like a fabric one. But we spoke a couple of weeks ago, and you were saying if you had a Bella Beat or if you had something that was like a Star Trek badge, you might want to wear it.
Yes.
So I've sourced a Bella Beat on eBay. I'm going to attach it to a Star Trek badge. So you could have a go at wearing a fitness tracker that you have to tap to activate it, like a com badge.
That's
So
bloody genius.
It took a little while on a couple of auctions to get one for a decent price second hand, but and this was Ludacris that crafted this together.
Right.
And it's actually sewn on. You'll be able to see when you see it in more detail, but it's actually sewn on.
Right.
So there you go.
Brilliant.
It doesn't seem as sensitive. I've been wearing it for a couple of days just to check it works, but it doesn't seem as quite as sensitive or useful as a Fitbit, but it's just worth having a little play around, see if you like it, and if not, at least you've got a com badge that you have to tap to activate.
I will give it a go. Yeah, thank you very much.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Can you just hold it back up to the camera? I just want to see it again.
It's just like a fabric one.
It's like one of those sew-on patches you used to get for like leather jackets or whatever. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. Brilliant.
There you go.
Yes. So, it's just about going to chat now, or just having a general chat. That's what this section's all about. We may talk about some things we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks. My dad says, "Beam me up, Scotty."
Smiler Rainbow said she wants to be a guinea pig for the lentil meatballs. So it's fine. I'll make a bigger batch. I'm actually going to make the meat ones and the lentil ones at the same time and use the same base sort of spicy sweet tomato sauce, but then use some of it on meat ones and then have the other bit for the... So it should taste a little bit like my normal meat ones, but slightly different.
Cool. So we've had a slight idea for one of our up-and-coming podcasts, and that's I'm going to give your diet a go for a week. So I'm actually going to do one of these Mazza menu weeks where I'm just going to consume one of your menus, as long as you can bring it to me in little plastic boxes.
Well, no, I'll give it to you all at once. So I'll have it all packaged up. Some of it frozen, some of it just be in packets. But I'll do either sort of alternating oats and kind of eggs for breakfast. You'll have mainly kind of bagels with all sorts of different toppings for lunches. And then your evening meals will be things like, a couple of portions of meatballs, a couple of portions of beef stew, a couple of portions of chicken curry, and all you have to do is add the veg to it.
Cool.
And we'll just see how far for a week, so you adopt it, but it's like a, walking a mile in my shoes sort of thing, see whether you manage it. And if you don't manage it, or if it's just not enough food for you or whatever, that's absolutely fine. As a strapping guy, you need a slightly higher calorie intake anyway. So, but theoretically, if you stick to it, you'd probably lose about 8 pounds in a week.
Yeah, probably half a stone.
Well, we just always see you could do like a little 10 seconds at the each day. Today's been fine.
I'm losing you there, Maria, for some reason. I don't know if it's my internet or your internet, but you're breaking up a little bit there.
Sorry, I was just saying maybe you could each night do a little 10-20 seconds video on how you're feeling each day.
Oh, like a little micro podcast. I could do.
Yeah.
I could do just for that week. Yeah. I might do that. We're not going to be doing that next week, but maybe in 2 or 3 weeks' time, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Next week we're probably gonna try to do a live cooking thing.
How we're going to do that, but let's give it
I
a
don't
try.
know. I do not know how we're going to do that, but we're going to give it a go. It could end up a complete disaster, but it'll make interesting viewing.
Yeah, I need to just rig my laptop up somehow so that it's sort of looking towards the hot top.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll figure that out.
Yeah, or we do it here. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Yes. So at least we got the next couple of weeks sorted out in content. Lindy
If
Hop
anybody
wants smelly vision for the cooking. Well, you know, maybe if you go to the next room, you can actually make that a reality.
And if anybody has anything in particular that they want to see me make, I guess it would have to be something quick-ish. I could show you how to do pink pickled onions. I could show you how to make hummus, or something else. But if you've got any particular things that you might want to see, let me know, and we can try and make that happen.
Yeah, and we haven't heard from chat this evening on how well they've done this week. I don't know if anybody wants to, and we do have Joe and Rob on the line. I know they've been starting a diet recently, so it would be good to know how well you guys have been getting on, for sure. Because we all know it's not been going all that well for me. Oh yeah, Callum. I just noticed Callum said earlier on he's looking forward to seeing you soon, Maz.
Yeah.
And
we'll be seeing Chris on Friday.
He particularly likes the pink pickled onions are lush.
Yes. I did fajitas for them a few weeks ago, and I did those pink pickled onions on the fajitas. I love them. I mean, they're basically all gone now. There's only a couple left in the bottom of the jar, but yeah, they're really, really yummy. They're quite sweet. Pickled sweet vinegar and sugar you basically use, but it's really impressive because they go that pink color in about 20 minutes, half an hour. So it's not instant, but it's quite fast acting.
Cool. I would certainly like to have a go at those. Dion forgot to weigh.
She's doing it.
I honestly forgot though. I think that one may be a bit more strategic because she was she was away with you last week, wasn't she? So
yeah, only for 2 of the days.
Yeah. I saw a picture of you scoffing back your gins in the hotel room.
I do admit she had this loaded it was loaded chips, but it had like chili and guacamole and sauerkraut. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it. Was like a platter. I mean, to be fair, she only ate about a third of it. It was bonkers big, but yeah, it was impressive. That's for sure.
Where was that?
That was at the cafe at Fistral Beach, like just the standard cafe, ground floor of that little complex. They only really had like loaded fries and pizzas and stuff. So I didn't think I could really have anything. But then obviously I had a slice of somebody else's pizza. But yeah, those loaded fries are massive, absolutely huge.
Yeah, Dion honestly forgot, she says. She honestly.
But then we also walked miles, so it's like it's not so bad when you're doing so much exercise as well.
Yeah, no worry, Rob. They're doing okay. So they're weighing in next week. So we're going to have a report back on how well they're getting on next week. So that'll be good to hear from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
And I'm beginning to think, this might be controversial, but I'm beginning to think of giving myself 1 day off the diet. I'm starting to sort of pick at things, and like my willpower is waning slightly, and I'm really getting a craving for a big bowl of pasta. So rather than, I'm just sort of trying to listen to my body. I think if I gave myself 1 day where I could have, maybe a chip butty or something that I wouldn't otherwise be able to have, then I think maybe I can come at it with a renewed willpower rather than. Because I mean, it's been by Sunday it will have been 6 weeks that I've been on this, and that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Controversial, but I think I might have one day off in the hope that it renews my strength of will.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I'm just going to try to have one day on your diet.
The thing is I think I'll be surprised at how little I can actually eat. If I try and have like a chip butty for lunch and a pasta for dinner, I'll probably get like halfway through it and be stuffed because I'm not used to eating so much anymore.
Yeah.
But so I can get rid of a few cravings, and for me, it's not like I crave chocolate or anything like that. It's more like I want a pint of milk, There's just a few things like dairy and carbs that I'm starting to sort of have little daydreams about.
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? You can not follow the plan for a day, but not necessarily mean you go crazy. But you do a few extra things that otherwise would be against the normal regime.
Yeah. Like I say with pasta, I mean, I don't mind having bolognese with vegetables and meatballs with vegetables, but after 6 weeks of that, I'm just like, I just want a bit of pasta.
Yeah. No, I do like pasta. And pizzas. And chips.
See, I like pizza, but then I can kind of I can make low calorie versions of that and sort of satisfy that craving in some ways. Especially those ones from Pizza Express. I had a pizza last week, so I'm not craving that at the moment because I kind of got that out of my system. I had a slice and a whole Lagera one. But pasta, I don't think I've had a single piece of pasta in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
There'll be no lasagna. Oh, lasagna.
Oh, lasagna. That'd be so good right now.
I fancy lasagna. Stop talking like pasta.
No, we shouldn't be talking about not food.
No. Well, talking about Lindy Hop reckons you could just have a big bag of honeycomb.
Well, that's what she would for sure.
Well, she would. Yes, that is for sure.
I brought her back on holiday.
Yeah.
Nice and honeycomb.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think we've probably come to a natural end on that one.
Yeah.
But
I'll still take pictures of any gross stuff I eat on Sunday, like on what I pig out on. It'd be embarrassing to show it, but
it's gonna feature as a part of the Maz's menu section. This is what happened this day.
Maybe don't put it on the website as nice healthy meals that I'm offering to give recipes on, but we can certainly feature it on the website.
We might omit that one image, but we will put it in. But thanks once again for cataloguing your progress and bringing it along for us all.
My pleasure. And thanks everybody for tuning in. More listeners than ever.
Yes, and thank you, chat, for giving us some cool things to talk about. It's always a pleasure. And we will see you once again next Wednesday at 8 o'clock for another Monty and Maz Diet Podcast.
And live cooking.
And and live cooking. What could possibly go wrong? The McCoy siblings live cooking on YouTube. What could go wrong?
Chris is the fireman. There's that.
Yeah, we might need him. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Maz. Thank you, everyone.